All right. Well, my name is Mrs. Kirkpatrick, and I am subbing for Mrs. Goldie today. She isn't able to be here. So we're going to start out with a book called Wild About Books by Judy Sahara. It started in the summer of 2002 when the Springfield librarian, Molly McGrew, by mistake drove her bookmobile into the zoo. Molly opened the door and she let down the stair, turned on the computer, and sat in her chair. At first, all the animals watched from a distance, but Molly could conquer the strongest resistance. By reading aloud from the good Dr. Seuss, she quickly attracted a mink and a moose, a wombat, an onyx, a lemur, a lynx, 8 elephant calves, and a family of skinks. I think these are the skinks. Everybody see? In a flash, every beast in the zoo was stampeding to learn all about this new something called reading. Forsaking their niches, their nests, and their nooks, they went wild, simply wild, about wonderful books, choosing thin books and fat books and cat in the hat books and new books and true books and heaps of how-to books. Look at them. Look at the zebras reading on each other's backs, and they're all choosing. There's a beaver choosing some books. Giraffes wanted tall books. Now, think of that. And crickets craved small books, while geckos could only read stick-to-the-wall books. The pandas demanded more books in Chinese. Molly filled their requests, always eager to please. She even found waterproof books for the otter, who never went swimming without Harry Potter. Raccoons read alone, and baboons read in bunches, and llamas read dramas while eating their lunches. Hyenas shared jokes with the red-bellied snakes. You know, hyenas, they like to laugh. And they howled and they hissed till their funny bones ached. Because that's what snakes do, don't they? They hiss. A tree kangaroo, I'm trying to find him. I'm not sure if that might be that, who adored Nancy Drew, began solving mysteries right there at the zoo, such as why were the bandicoots' books overdue? And you see more animals just keep watching. See the owl watching? See the owl? Right there. Gently, Molly taught lessons in treating books right. For the boa constrictor squeezed Critter too tight. Baby bunnies mucked up Goodnight Moon with their paws. Giant termites devoured the Wizard of Oz. So you can't squeeze a book too tight, can you? And you can't use dirty hands on your books. You have to use clean hands on your books. And we don't want to eat our books, do we? No, not like the termites. And bears' love of books was completely outrageous. They licked all the pictures right off of the pages. Oh my goodness. Tasmanian devils found books so exciting that soon they had given up fighting for writing. They made up adventures so thrilling and new that the others decided to be authors too. Pythons wrote with their tails, penguins wrote with their bills, and porcupines wrote with their very own quills. Pretty clever, right? At the new insect zoo, bugs were scribbling haiku. The scorpion gave each a stinging review. Well, we won't read all of them, but here's one we'll read that they wrote. I dig for treasure in my enchanted castle, a rotten apple. And the animal says, boring. As the cheetah's new novel began to take shape, He read chapters each night to the Barbary ape. And although the gazelle couldn't spell very well, like everyone else, she had stories to tell. Imagine the hippo's enormous surprise when her memoir was given the Zooglitzer Prize. Wow. With so many new books, Molly knew what to do. She hired 12 beavers, a stork, and a gnu to build a branch library there at the zoo. Then the animals cried, "We can do it ourselves. We can check the books out. We can put them on shelves." And they did, and they do to this very, very day. 3 cheers for the Zoobrary. Hip, hip, hooray. So they got their own Zoobrary. So when you visit the zoo now, you surely won't mind if the animals seem just a bit hard to find. They are snug in their niches, their nests, and their nooks, going wild, simply wild, about wonderful books. Is that the way you all feel about books? They're pretty special, aren't they? They can take you on an adventure. So this next one is very fun, and it is called The Donkey Egg by Janet Stevens and Susan Stevens Crummell. Now we're going to see how many of you think that a donkey can lay an egg. Ah, smart children here today, smart children. Well, we'll see. We'll see what Bear thinks about a donkey egg. Up on the hill lived a grumpy old bear. His farm was a wreck, and it needed repair, but Bear didn't care. He just slept in his chair and growled at his neighbors, Fox and Hare. There's Fox. "Wake up, Bear," cried Fox. "I know you want to turn this place back into a mighty fine farm, grow some mighty fine crops, and have a mighty fine life. But you need help, and I've got just the thing." "Grrr," growled Bear. "What thing?" He's hiding it. "Ta-da! A donkey." "That's not a donkey," cried Bear. "Not yet." "But it will be," said Fox. "It's a donkey egg, a genuine certified donkey egg. Still green, has to ripen and hatch. That's where you come in. Keep it warm, safe, and happy, like a little mama bird on her nest. It will take time. Minutes, hours, days, weeks, months. So be patient. Then, voila, a donkey." He's even got a picture of what the donkey will look like. See that? A drawing. As you know, Bear, lots of animals come from eggs. Dinosaurs, chickens, platypus, alligators, and donkeys. It's the truth. I can see it now. Your fields are plowed. Your house is painted. You and your donkey sitting on the porch, watching the sunset. What a deal, and it's a steal. Today, only $19.95. "No way," said Bear. Fox sighed. "Okay, I'll settle for that $20 bill. Sold. It's a done deal." Now, do you get that? If you know math, he just got 5 cents more. Fox scooped up the cash, disappeared in a flash, and all that was left was Bear in his chair and a gigantic green donkey egg. That fast-talking fox," muttered Bear. "Now what am I supposed to do?" Then he remembered, keep it warm. So like a big mama bird, Bear carefully sat this way and that. He sat and sat, tickety-tock, clickety-clock. Minutes passed. No donkey. Neighbor Hare, if you know, hare is another name for a rabbit, So in this book, he's called a hare. Neighbor Hare had just begun his daily run when he screeched to a halt. Bear, you're out of your chair. I'm sitting on my donkey egg, growled Bear. What? Donkeys don't come from eggs. Yes, they do, cried Bear. Like dinosaurs, chickens, alligators, platypuses, even tortoises. I'm keeping it warm so it will hatch. Been sitting for a whole hour. No donkey. Well, you keep sitting and I'll keep running, said Hare. Got another race with Tortoise. Off went Hare, leaving Bear to sit. And sit, and sit. Mustn't quit. Tickety-tock, clickety-clock. Hours passed. No donkey. What do I do now? Then Bear remembered. Keep it safe. Bear cradled the egg and sang, rock-a-bye donkey, my little one. Ripen and hatch, there's work to be done. If there is danger, I will be there. You'll be my donkey, I'll be your bear. Again, Hare screeched to a halt. Bear, you're rocking and singing in your chair. I'm keeping my donkey egg safe, replied Bear. Been rocking all day. No, donkey. Well, you keep rocking and I'll keep running, said Hare. Gotta win that race. Off went Hare, leaving Bear to rock. And rock, and rock. Rickety-rock, tickety-tock, clickety-clock. Days passed. No donkey. Now what? Then Bear remembered. Keep it happy. He told Egg a tale of a girl and 3 bears. Fables with tortoises, foxes, and hares. Bear acted out plays where he played every part again and again till they knew them by heart. Bear pointed his toes as he leaped through the air. He played peekaboo, hiding under his chair. For the 3rd time, Hare screeched to a halt. Bear, you're under your chair. I'm playing with my donkey egg, said Bear, keeping it happy so it will hatch. Been playing with all week. Still no donkey. But there will be, Bear grinned. So if you keep running and I'll keep playing, I'm going to hatch that egg and you're going to beat that tortoise. Off went Hare, leaving Bear to play and play and play, night and day. Tickety-tock, clickety-clock, weeks passed. No donkey. Through wind and rain and snow, Bear stayed. Look at him. He sang, he sat, he rocked, he played, he loved that egg with all his heart. Never was there quite a pair, Bear and egg and bear. Only napping here and there, Bear grew tired, really tired, really, really tired. He couldn't keep from falling fast asleep. Zzz, plop. Uh-oh. Roll. What's happening? There goes the egg. Oh, no, shouted Bear. Help! Egg on the loose. Hare's ears perked up. Egg on the loose. Hare to the rescue. And the chase was on. It was Egg out in front, then Bear close behind, and Hare bringing up the rear. Around the turn, Egg leading, Hare speeding, Bear stampeding across the road. Egg tumbling, Hare stumbling, Bear fumbling through the field, Bear thrashing, Hare dashing, Egg crashing, crack. The egg cracked open. Is that an egg? My donkey hatched, cried Bear. I've got him by the ears. Ouch, those are my ears, hollered Hare. Can't you see? It's not a donkey egg, it's a what? Watermelon. But it can't be, Fox said. It was a genuine, certified donkey egg. Fox, gasped Hare. You believed Fox. Bear hung his head. He tricked me. Fox tricked me. No donkey egg, no baby donkey, no nothing. There wasn't a sound as Bear looked around, and there on the ground, guess what he found? Seeds. Bear had an idea. I've got work to do. Well, you start working and Hare paused. Oh, who cares about a silly old race? For hours, then days, Bear and Hare tilled the land. They weeded and planted and watered by hand. For weeks, then months, the plants grew and grew. May, June, July, that's the month we are in. They were growing into watermelons everywhere. To market went Bear and Hare to sell those melons. And what did they buy? What do you think they bought? No? Yes. Ta-da! Hee-haw, hee-haw. They bought a donkey. And now look, who sees the donkey? That fox, that tricky fox. He thinks, wow, that watermelon a donkey did hatch out of that watermelon. That's what Fox thinks. So off ran Bear with Donkey and Hare to fix up his farm that needed repair, and all that was left was who? Fox. And what is he doing? He's sitting on a watermelon because he thinks maybe he'll get a donkey that way too, right? So that is a very fun book. Let's see where we're at on our time. So Judy Sahara, who had written Wild About Books, also wrote a book called Zoozical. So we're going to return to that zoo and find out what the animals are up to now. Remember, they have their zoobrary, which is like a library in a zoo. And here we are in this beautiful, beautiful weather. It's so nice today. But we all know what happens in the winter. What happens in the winter? It's cold, and what comes from the sky? Snow. We all know what a Minnesota winter is like. So this is the setting, how this book starts out, and we're going to find out what the animals are up to. One blustery morning, when frosty winds blew, when families stayed home, we all know how that goes, and when field trips were few, the midwinter doldrums arrived at the zoo. Little lemurs stopped leaping. Their yowling was keeping the wombats awake. Then the snakes, by mistake, tied themselves up in knots. Ocelots lost their spots. Look at their spots dropping off. Owls did not give a hoot. Pandas quit being cute. Even penguins were surly. The zoo gates closed early. Then just when it seemed that the doldrums had won, that the zoo never, ever would be fun, a very large hippo collapsed in dismay, and a very small hippo hopped out of the way. A young kangaroo shouted, "Look, me hop too!" And together they hip-hopped all over the zoo. It was simply amazing what two friends could do. When they tapped and they rapped and they twirled on their feet, all the animals rocked to the hipperoo beat. And slowly the doldrums began to retreat. "Woohoo!" cried the young kangaroo. "We're so musical." "Cool," said the hippo. "Let's put on a zoozical." So they're going to put on a musical in the zoo. It's called a zoozical. Every creature had talent. There wasn't much to it. They just needed the hippo to say, "We can do it. We're born to be singers and dancers and acrobats." Zoozical fever swept all the zoo's habitats. Look at all the different things that they're doing. Up on the high wire. The animals sang songs that everyone knew. If the words weren't quite right, then they added a few. And even giraffes who were quiet and shy discovered their voices could reach to the sky. Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Or if you're happy and you know it, clap your paws. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling porcupine. And for he's a jolly gorilla. So they all found something to sing, didn't they? And after they'd all learned the musical score, they made posters and costumes and scenery galore. See how they're all practicing? And now they're working on the posters and the scenery. The news spread like wildfire. And in spite of the wind and the sleet and the snow, the who's who of Springfield all rushed to the show. They wanted to see these animals perform. At 8:15, when the lemurs were certain the moment was right, they flung open the curtain. On stage, the wee hippo blinked up at the light. He looks a little frightened, doesn't he? But her feet wouldn't move. Or I guess it's a she. She was frozen with fright. Oh no, would the zoozicle turn out all right? All the people are watching. Yes, a tiger backstage roared an ear-splitting roar, and the hippo hopped higher than ever before. She hit the ground tapping. The crowd started clapping. The young kangaroo didn't clap. He was napping. See him right there? He's asleep. Through it all. Bears walked the tightrope with elegant ease. Flamingos whizzed by on the flying trapeze. Raccoons danced in pairs. Baboons danced in troops. And snakes joined the dancers as live hula hoops. Would you want to use a hula hoop that was a snake? Oh my goodness. The Crocodile Kids led the alphabet song with the audience gleefully chanting along. Then onto the stage rolled 10 seals on a bus, barking, "Let's sing a tune that is all about us." The seals on the bus go round and round. I bet you're all familiar with that tune. And that young kangaroo, when he finally awoke, he delighted the crowd with a wild karaoke. And everyone danced to the zoo, hokey pokey. You put your right paw in, you put your left foot out, and that's what it's all about. So they are having a great time, aren't they? And the audience is loving it. It was one of those times that you hope never ends, when penguins and pandas and pythons are friends, when tigers don't bite, when the doldrums take flight on a magical, musical, zoozical night. So the audience loved it, didn't they? They found a way to be active. So now we have a fun one called Duck on a Bike. This duck, and maybe some of you are familiar with it, by David Shannon. He is quite the duck, as you will find out. One day, down on the farm, Duck got a wild idea. I bet I could ride a bike. He waddled over to where the boy parked his bike, climbed on, and began to ride. At first he rode very slowly, and he wobbled a lot, but it was fun. Duck rode past Cow and waved to her. "Hello, Cow," said Duck. "Moo," said Cow. But what she thought was, "A duck on a bike? That's the silliest thing I've ever seen." Then Duck rode past Sheep. "Hello, Sheep," said Duck. "Baa," said Sheep. But what she thought was, he's going to hurt himself if he's not careful. Duck was riding better now. He rode past Dog. "Hello, Dog," said Duck. "Woof," said Dog. But what he thought was, that is a mighty neat trick. Then Duck rode past Cat. "Hello, Cat," said Duck. "Meow," said Cat. But what she thought was, I wouldn't waste my time riding a bike. You know how cats can be. Duck pedaled a little faster. He rode past Horse. "Hello, Horse," said Duck. "Nay," said Horse. But what he thought was, you're still not as fast as me, Duck. Horses can go pretty fast, can't they? Duck rang his bell as he rode toward Chicken. "Hello, Chicken," said Duck. "Cluck, cluck," said Chicken. But what she thought was, watch where you're going, Duck. Then Duck rode past Goat. "Hello, Goat," said Duck. "Ma," said Goat. But what he thought was, I'd like to eat that bike. That goat, the goat was already eating things, wasn't he? Garbage. Duck stood on the seat and rode past Pig and Pig. He's doing tricks now. Do you see that? Hello, pigs, said Duck. Oink, said Pig and Pig. But what they thought was, Duck is such a show-off. Then Duck rode no hands past Mouse. Hello, Mouse, said Duck. You got to look to see Mouse. There he is right there, right here. Squeak, said Mouse. But what he thought was, I wish I could ride a bike just like Duck. Suddenly, a whole bunch of kids came down the road on bikes. They were in such a hurry that they didn't see Duck. They parked their bikes by the house and went inside. And look at the animals. Do you think the animals are getting an idea? The animals are getting an idea. Now all the animals had bikes. They rode around and around the barnyard. This is fun, they all said. Good idea, Duck. Then they put the bikes back by the house, and no one knew that afternoon there had been a cow, a sheep, a dog, a cat, a horse, a chicken, a goat, 2 pigs, a mouse, and a duck on a bike. The end. Farmer Brown stuck his head out the window. The farm was too quiet. Everyone was watching the egg. Oh, we've got another egg. Do you think it's going to be a watermelon? I don't know. We'll see, won't we? Not a moo, not a click, not an oink, not a clack, not a baa, not a cluck, not a thing. Then a crack. Inside the barn, everyone gathered closer. Moo, crack. Baa, crack. Oink, crack. Cluck, crack. They're all looking to see what's going to come out. Moo, crack. Baa, crack. Oink, crack. Baby duck. A baby duck. Baby duck laughed. Peep, 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 and laughed again. Baby duck waddled. Peep, 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 and waddled again. Baby duck played. Peep, 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 and played again. The animals yawned. Peep, peep, peep. The chickens sang a lullaby because baby duck just keeps peeping, doesn't it? It's keeping the rest of the animals awake. The chickens sang a lullaby, but baby duck would not sleep. Peep, peep, peep. The cows lowered the shades, but baby duck would not sleep. Peep, peep, peep. It's getting louder. The sheep knitted a blanket. Oh, they'd have a baby blanket. But baby duck would not sleep. Peep, 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 from underneath the blanket. The chickens went outside to get some sleep. The cows went outside to get some sleep. The sheep went outside to get some sleep. The mice went outside to get some sleep. So everybody's outside because they can't sleep. Duck, here's Duck, took off his headphones, went over to see the farmer, put the headphones on the farmer. I think Duck had a solution. He put baby duck into a bucket. Peep, peep, peep. He covered her with a blanket. Peep, peep. He carried her outside. Peep, peep, peep. He climbed into the tractor. Peep, peep, peep. He buckled up the seatbelts. That's important. Peep, peep, peep. And backed out of the barnyard. Beep, beep, beep. He drove back and forth. Beep, beep, beep. Back and forth. Beep, beep, beep. Back and forth. Beep, beep. It's getting very faint. Sleep. Baby duck went to sleep. Farmer Brown opened his eyes after a good night's sleep because he had the earphones on. Not a moo, not a cluck, Not a clack. Not a peep. But what does he see? What happened? Because the duck was on the tractor with baby duck. Oh, look at the farm. The fence is broken and all the fields are torn up. The corn's down because Duck had kept baby duck asleep by driving the tractor back and forth. So they got sleep, but had some problems there too, didn't they? Okay. Well, that is the end of story time today, so I'm sure glad to see everyone that was here today, and I hope you all enjoyed the stories.